Summer ups make me feel fine. It's Wednesday, July 31st in the United States of America and Canada. It is 12 o'clock noon on the dot exactly. And this is What Chaos, presented by Prize Picks Daily Fantasy Sports, made easy. To my left is Pete Blackburn. Further to my left is a man wearing a hat named Sean DePaz. My name is Dave Bean. Let's talk about Sean wearing a hat, boys.
Yeah, Sean's wearing a Red Sox hat.
Ooh, fanboy.
I've been a Red Sox fan my entire life.
But you're not a hat fan your entire life.
That is true.
Do you wear a hat like a good amount?
I
Yes, I love that Coyotes hat that he wears all the time. The New Era hat. Also, shout out to New Era, getting those NHL deals.
Yeah,
I've seen a first look at those hats. Those hats look good.
Delicious.
I love New Era. Buffalo company. Best things come out of Buffalo, as we know.
Sean, settle this bet. You don't wear hats that often.
I go through phases. Like, I wore hats a lot in Phoenix. I haven't worn hats all that much here. It goes back and forth, but I haven't worn hats all that often on the show. I did go through a stretch where I wore that Coyotes hat quite a bit.
So you'd wear a hat for them, but you won't wear a hat for us.
I'm wearing a hat for you right now.
Also, I think you love that Super Bowl shirt.
I do love the Super Bowl
That
shirt.
Super Bowl shirt is fucking awesome, and it looks so good on you. Shout out to you. Shout out to the Super Bowl.
Shout out to Pete.
Shout out to me for buying it.
That's a Pete buy.
It is.
How did Pete kick my ass on that trip? Because I don't see you wearing your Violent Gentleman hoodie a lot this summer, Sean.
I can confirm I have not worn it all that much this summer.
Not in the 90-degree heat. I am wearing my my
Made in Canada.
Canadics. It's a Canada Fanatics item, and it's the first time I've ever worn it. I was scared to wear it because it's famously a sweatshirt.
It's thick.
It's
very
thick,
thick,
but it doesn't wear heavy.
It's
heavy material. It doesn't wear heavy.
I love how thick it is. Like, I like that feeling of the shirt.
Hell yeah.
You know why? You have depression. It's a depression blanket.
Yeah, it's a weighted t-shirt.
It's a weighted t-shirt.
I don't have a depression blanket, but I've been meaning to get one for a while.
I do have depression. I don't have a depression blanket. I've used one before and was just very transfixed by it.
Okay. I want to get one. Maybe I'll get one in the summer. I bought one of those depression lights.
Oh, I haven't done a depression light. Sean, sorry I said you have depression. I was making a joke about the shirt.
If the shoe fits, I suppose.
I'm not a doctor. We all have depression. Everybody take care of yourself. Drink water. What's that?
We're all dying.
That's a fact.
Yeah, that's big facts. I can't believe I didn't open the show with this. I have a blister on my toe. How am I supposed to rollerblade?
Can't believe you didn't open with that either.
I have horrible depression. Terrible.
How'd you get a blister? From rollerblading?
I rollerbladed yesterday in my area, and it was nice. Such a nice day yesterday in Boston, Massachusetts. It was nice. I was rollerblading in my area. Bird shit everywhere. So I said, you know what? I'm packing this up. I'm heading home. Drove to Castle Island, my favorite place to rollerblade. I was like, it's too nice. So I did 2 blades in one day. And when I got back, my feet were they'd gotten their asses kicked.
That's a tough scene.
So that's that. I wanted to ask you about the Canadics shirts. Mm-hmm. You pulled such a veteran move. We could grab a sample of whatever team we wanted. I like Red Wings gear. I grabbed Red Wings. Sean is a Sabres boy. He grabbed Sabres. You thought, there's a new logo in town.
Yeah.
I'm getting the Ducks one. Very smart. Did they have Utah stuff?
No.
I don't think so.
They had generic NHL Shield stuff you could get, but they didn't have the
Okay.
Utah stuff in
Because
time.
if I had overlooked that, I would have felt
No, I
really stupid.
specifically asked because I would have split. I would have gotten a Utah and a Sabres thing.
Easy transition. Was in New York. Went to the NHL shop. I was telling Sean before this show, Pete. Weird days inside that store right now. No air conditioning. Terrible.
What?
Hot. I want to get out of there right away.
Like they just don't have it?
It was
Or is it-
horrible.
or is
They had
it-
fans
Okay.
in like 2 spots. It was the worst. Also, like July 2024 is an odd time for the NHL store because it's all old stuff because
Yeah.
they don't have the Fanatics stuff in yet. So it's all old jerseys. I basically just walked around and kind of peeped the Utah stuff. Was going to get something for the set. Nothing worth getting, really. There was that one rope hat. Rupa hat. It looked
Rope
okay.
hat.
But
I thought that you sent a picture and were like, what's the best item of these? And I said the white hat, which had the rope. I didn't realize that it had the rope because the rope was also white and it blended in. And I cannot get into those rope hats.
never have been able to. I think the first time we saw them, like 6 years ago when they started to make a comeback,
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I was like, oh, hey, that's kind of cool. And within a week had decided I'm not going to wear those.
Well, I mean,
now I'm sick of them being on everything.
we got a care package from 47 brand that famously included 2 of those rope hats. Put them on, and I was like, nope, that's not going to work for
we
me.
kept trying to give them to each other.
No, we really did. Like, hey, you want this? No.
Sean, you want a
this?
Chargers rope hat?
Nope.
You
Okay,
want a
follow-up
Celtics
question.
rope hat?
Yeah,
Nope.
follow-up question. Pete, you want a Chargers rope hat? It hasn't grown on you?
Rope.
They gave me so many good
rope hats.
Chargers thing. Amazing stuff. Sean, fill us in on the Olympics. You have 1 minute.
The Olympics rock. U.S. Women's rugby won their first medal ever on like a 99-yard, like full pitch length buzzer beater touchdown.
Fuck
That
yeah.
rocked. Olympics. I love the Olympics. Horses aren't athletes. Equestrian is the most unserious sport of all time. The best
Sean
swimmer in
loving
the world.
Olympics is the least surprising thing of all time.
Best swimmer in the world, Leon Marchand, the pride of Arizona State University. He rocks. Yeah, I don't know what else. There's a lot. USA basketball is awesome, thanks in part to Steve Kerr not playing Jason Tatum. And the women are even better.
How do you feel about the women's volleyball having to wear pants because of woke?
It's a little weird. I was watching some of the beach volleyball, and it was very weird to me how some of them wore pants, some of them were in bikinis, and I was just like,
Oh, really? I saw somebody like just post like a screenshot that was like, "Oh, look what they took from us. They're
yeah,
wearing
no,
pants."
Like
What the
most of
fuck?
them were still actively wearing like bikinis.
Okay.
I don't. It's whatever. Beach volleyball is awesome though because the court is like at the base of the Eiffel Tower outside. So like if you're sitting at center court, you look up and there's the Eiffel Tower and it's sick. The opening ceremony was the coolest thing I've ever watched in my entire life, to which the haters hate to hear. But yeah, I love the Olympics. It's the coolest thing ever. I wish they would stop. I don't know how in 2024 they keep doing the wrong things. Like they introduced South Korea as North Korea. They played the Sudan national anthem for South Sudan. Don't understand how they keep doing it. And also USA Gymnastics
Gamesmanship.
rocks. USA Gymnastics rocks. The women specifically, they're the best, the greatest of all time. The men got a medal. Aviva asked if I'm a pommel horse guy. Had this conversation yesterday. Pommel horse, least impressive thing in all of gymnastics.
That's like the one that just stands there? It's
Yeah,
a
and they
little,
swing
like,
their legs
saddle,
around.
yeah.
I was like,
I mean,
I was
that's
talking about
pretty
this with my
tough
friend.
to do, but it's not.
But it's by
cool to
far the
watch.
easiest. Like the only thing about it is like the upper body strength, which is obviously impressive. And I'm not saying I could do any of it. Least also, very
you were
good.
saying that
I
you
could do
were
it. I'm
saying
5.5
that-
feet tall. I could definitely be a gymnast.
You were saying that you said you watch the women do the mat routine, and you say I can do that. You were saying
and I didn't say that. What's very funny to me is that both the men and women do floor routines, but the men do not have any music or the rhythmic portions of it, which
yeah, 'cause
is
men don't dance.
it's the most like homophobic thing I've ever seen. It's just like men can
I'll do that shit, but I'm not dancing.
Yeah,
don't
it's
play,
just
don't you
like-
dare play some
I was
goddamn
like,
music.
they can dance too. I don't know if it's homophobic or if it's sexist. Like they're like the women you have to be like sexual while you do this too. It's not enough that you're the most
Do the
talented
men
people
wear
on the
like
planet.
AirPods? So they do listen to the music.
Yeah,
They just
yeah.
don't want to they don't want other people to see them listening to the music.
Yeah. Also, South Korea women's archery dynasty.
Can you explain something to me? What the fuck is like the gun thing where
It's
they have
just
like the little
shooting.
little eye cyberpunk
Yeah,
thing,
it's
but
just-
like the gun doesn't have any recoil?
It's just like they took guns and made it nerdy, basically.
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
hate it.
It's
Not to be like a gun guy, but if you're gonna have a gun competition in the Olympics, have some kickback on that thing.
No,
my guns.
make it a
says
real
Pete.
gun.
It's like the Koreans are great at shooting shit. Apparently, like I said, there's this one Korean woman who's like been taking over the internet because she looks
Oh yeah,
dope as shit. She's like wearing a backwards hat and just
she's like
is,
an NPC.
yeah, and just is like no emotion or anything. It's just shooting shit. And like I said, women's South Korean archery has won gold every year since 1988, which is the year that their current constitution was created. So the entire time that South Korea as we know it has existed, they have just dominated in women's archery.
Wow.
It's an
pretty
air
cool.
pissel, says Jesse
Yes,
Larkin.
yes, it's not like
that's
like
lame as
a real-
shit.
Oh, so it's like an airsoft gun.
I guess. Yeah.
Don't let-
I was always out on those.
Don't let
too.
Alec Baldwin near those things.
Also, free Alec Baldwin. He was freed, I guess. Actually,
was
Yeah,
free.
it's all set.
Also,
It's been handled.
equestrian. I don't know if I said this on the show. The most unserious thing of all time, and horses are not athletes.
So Sean and I had a
Horses
one.
are athletes.
No, they're
So
not. Nope.
Sean and I had
That's
a
a
Go
crazy
type
thing.
in your laptop right now. Definition of athlete.
Yes. Sean and I had a 1.5 second argument about this. He said I was in an argument with my friends over horses being athletes. And I was like, well, they are. And he said, no, they're not. Athletes are human. And I said, okay, well, then you win the argument.
You
because
definitely win the argument. A
horses are
person who is
human.
proficient
Yep, a
in
person.
sports or other forms of physical exercise.
A person.
Okay, that's fair.
I-
Yeah, you win the argument.
Thank you.
That's where you and I do align. Because if something's a rule, it's a fucking rule.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if it is by definition a person who is proficient in sports or other forms of physical exercise,
If Webster said so.
yeah.
It's been
I did-
decreed.
I did have an argument with Ellen this past week talking about the esports.
Scaring people?
The esports
Remember
being
she did
made
that on her show?
Olympics.
Not a
Do you
sport.
hear that?
Not a sport.
Olympics now going to have esports. Which
Oh,
she was like, that is so stupid. It's not a sport.
Not a sport.
I stay out of that conversation.
I
I-
am very passionate that it's not a sport. As
I
someone
don't
who
know
loves
if
video
it's a
games,
sport,
it's
but
an activity.
it is a competition that
Yes.
requires
So is
like
chess.
a lot more.
So is chess.
But like some of the Olympic sports that are in there don't require like I would say the air pistol thing doesn't require physical exertion.
But it requires a very specific physical skill set.
So does gaming.
Anger.
It's
It's like a lot of precision.
different.
It's a lot of like hand. I think that like esports is probably more challenging than those fucking air pistols. I'll say that.
I'd
I
agree
mean,
with that.
again, chess is also challenging, but it's not.
Yeah,
a sport.
for sure.
Just because it's challenging doesn't make it. A
But
sport.
like I'm cool with chess being in the Olympics. Like I would watch that shit.
I would not.
But I do think
The Russians would
her
dominate.
big point was that like the Olympics at their root are for like athleticism,
Yes.
and like physical competition, which I agree with.
I think they were.
Richard
right.
also makes a good point: is that you can't have a sport that a company owns. Like they're going to be playing a video game that someone makes, and that's weird to me.
And
That's fair.
the Olympics have become more about, I don't want to say like pageantry, because they've always been about pageantry. They've been more about like of competition and events than athleticism. Obviously, like the greatest athletes are Olympians, but there are a lot of things that are more kind of events than they are like games. Sean, what are you laughing at?
Just Sabrina's comment: when God sings with His creations, will a horse not be a part of the choir? I love that phrasing, but I mean, no, because horses can't sing.
What the fuck?
Dude, fucking like Dan Aykroyd was in the We Are the World choir. Horses can be in God's choir. Okay. Also, we just need to bring opening ceremonies to hockey and everything else.
The opening
Oh,
ceremony
God.
was the coolest thing I have watched in my entire life.
Yeah, opening
They
ceremonies always
transitioned-
fucking hit.
I mean, the Stanley Cup final basically had an opening ceremony
That
with
is
the
true.
cup,
That is true. I mean, I'll
but
just
that was
wasn't-
basically an opening ceremony.
but that wasn't a good opening. So that was like, I want some.
you
And
want
like,
horses?
I definitely want like
Headless Marie Antoinette singing opera,
I want things that are going to ruffle feathers. I want
even if they shouldn't be.
What's that?
I
Even
do
if
not
they
want
shouldn't
that.
be.
I don't want discourse.
I want controversial opening
No.
ceremonies for every event.
Oh no, I hate that.
I want both channels to be mad and yelling. Miss the game.
TNT and ESPN just going at it.
Who's the guy on Fox Sports not Fox Sports, on Fox News that is always extremely upset?
All of them.
Yeah,
All of them.
I was gonna say that's
Didn't narrow it
the
down
Vegas
well.
thing.
well, it was Tucker Carlson. Who's asking
I
for
mean,
this?
No,
there's
who's the guy? You sent me the clip
Sean
of
Jesse
Hannity,
Waters.
Jesse Waters.
Jesse
yeah.
Waters.
I want
who
Jesse
said
Waters-
last night. Most insane thing I've ever.
I want
seen.
Jesse Waters apoplectic after game one, after opening night of the NHL season.
Jesse Waters last night saying that if a man votes for a woman, he becomes a woman. Is crazy.
I believe he said he transitions into a
Yes,
woman.
yes. A man who votes for a woman transitions into a woman.
It is a procedure.
Insane thing to say on TV.
I'd have to
also,
imagine.
he accused men who vote for women of voting for them because they are women.
Or
because they have
want
mommy
to be
issues.
liked by
I
women.
saw that too.
Crazy.
Fellas,
Wild.
is it gay to want to be liked by women? He's asking Sean. He's asking the question. I have more Olympics thoughts, but there are NHL things. We're going to talk hockey in this episode, but also like we haven't really done like a full grab ass and chit chat fuck around episode. We could have had a guest today. We thought, you know what? We have guests coming up in the coming weeks. Let's hang out.
Good guests.
Let's enjoy each other's company. Huge news in hockey: the McDavid wedding. Connor McDavid is a married man. Congratulations to him and Lauren Kyle. I famously am not a celebrity wedding guy because I'm not a celebrity couple guy because I've been entangled in too many rumors about dating Rihanna in my life that I just sit out that whole thing. People forget one time Rihanna dated a guy who looked like me.
I don't know if she dated him. I think she just like made out with him in a pool. And people were like, that is DJ.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
But if I were that guy, I'd be like,
I did.
let
Rihanna.
people think that we dated.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, as somebody who has been accused of dating Rihanna, I don't really care about celebrity weddings and couples and stuff like that. But when I saw all of my Oilers people that I follow on Twitter posting just magnificent threads of anything they could get their hands on, I kind of was like, is Leon in the wedding party?
Of course he is.
I don't know. So
Of course he is.
famously, no pictures of the wedding, no like real like big stuff of the wedding has come out because in classic celebrity style, do you know what they did?
Close ceremony?
They sold the coverage.
Did they?
You and Ellen have to do that. Even if you sell it to me and Sean,
Yes.
you have to sell the coverage.
They sold the coverage of the wedding?
That's what like George Clooney does.
Genius.
No, I know, but like that's wild.
So like one magazine, we don't know who yet, or one outlet. Oh, if it's Chiclets, I'm gonna be so fucking mad. What if they sold to the Powers Brothers? I'll tell you right now, I'm selling my wedding coverage to CP and Dan. They would be so nice and positive about it. Everybody,
like, your wife is a weapon.
Yeah.
She's a
Oh my
weapon.
God, they would be so fucking cool and nice. Everybody, I tweeted about it yesterday. I think it's like breaking a kind of rule. We've talked about it multiple times. Pete brought it up on a recent episode too. Like, love how much all the hockey podcasters get along and love each other. I was declaring my love to Dan and CP yesterday for their episode with Sean Dursey. They did an episode, Empty Netters did an episode with Sean Dursey. It is so different from our episode with Sean Dursey, and it is equally fucking awesome. Part of that is Sean Dursey is just the best.
Yeah.
But he came on with us and he was fucking around and like we were doing shit to each other and all that kind of thing because that's our thing. He went on with them and they just gushed about hockey.
Of course.
And I was like, God, fuck. I put it on in the car. I think it was like an hour episode. I just fucking drove around for an hour. I had to hear the whole thing. It was amazing. So anyway, if I'm selling the coverage for my wedding, I'm selling it to the Netters boys.
That's fair.
I don't know if they would get anything done or take any pictures. I think they would just like have vibes be amazing.
They would take like 3 shitty pictures. They'd be blurry.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, but you'd have the best time of your life. There'd just be no memory of it.
And people would be like, why did you fucking Kendrick? Why did you do the thing when people invite Kendrick on their song to just get fucking
smoked?
Why did you have
smoked at your own venue?
Why did you have a hockey podcaster whose name starts with D, who has way better skin than you and just like unbelievable posture, going around fucking complimenting everybody? Why'd you have that fucking guy at your wedding? And you paid him? Bad job.
Yeah, no.
Bad job, DJ.
CMC and Olivia Coppel also had their wedding in Vogue Weddings. Yeah, I guarantee the McDavid wedding was so much more fun than the Culpo and McCaffrey wedding.
Yeah.
No offense. Olivia Culpo had like 4 outfit changes during her wedding. I don't know. I bet Leon and Connor tore up the wedding and Lauren was just like forgotten about at their own wedding.
Damn. Lauren, bless you. I hope that didn't happen. That's your wedding. And not to fall into like gender norms and everything. Like, if you're having that big a wedding, it's because you've wanted that big a wedding.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
If this is hey, and not to say that one's right or one's wrong, but if this is a like, I'm just so excited to begin the rest of my life with you, let's just go down to the courthouse or whatever they would do. I don't know what, like the Toronto version.
Whatever they would do in Calgary.
Like I don't know what the Toronto or whatever version of that would be. If you're having that glamorous a wedding, if you're having a sell the coverage of your wedding level of wedding, I fucking hope to God neither member is like an afterthought. So I'm going to push back on that. I hope that Lauren was the center of attention. Connor doesn't want that. Let's fuck. This episode is just like speculating about Connor McDavid's wedding.
No, I mean, look at Charlie McAvoy's wedding. Patrice Bergeron and Brad Marchand were making out on the dance floor.
That was so
That
good.
was so funny. Shit was happening at the Oilers wedding. Absolutely. You see the vibes around that team this year? There was definitely some boys making out on the dance floor.
So I'm already married. Sean's married as well. You have a wedding coming up at some point. You have the opportunity to be one of those guys. Like people invite like Felger. People who've never met Felger like send him wedding invites.
You gotta invite a certain billionaire that we've had the opportunity to meet recently.
So like
not James Dolan.
No,
we famously have not met him.
Can we invite Michael Rubin to my wedding?
Yes, invite Michael Rubin.
I don't know.
Well, no,
dude, invite Omark.
I should invite Omar.
Invite him, but just be like, because truth would just be like, hey man, like you mean something to me, and like even though we haven't had any real like one-on-one time, I consider you a friend.
I did do my wedding list, like my guest list.
Yeah.
Way shorter than I thought it would be. I was like, I think it's like a lot of, I like these people, but I don't know if I want to extend invites to the wedding. Like I ended up with like 40 people.
But that's what like
also
so
like 5 family members.
So you are obviously you're a great friend of mine, but I consider you a great friend. I don't think you I've never really sensed a desire for you to have a lot of like ancillary friends.
Yeah.
Like you have like you big
Close to the
social
best.
media following and everything. So you have people that like you're friendly with or whatever. But I've had a lot of, let's say, like C-level friends in my life, but I'm also mainly like a big friends guy.
Mhm.
Like I have like 10
You have your
people.
core group. Yeah.
Right. I think that you're kind of more that type. I think that you don't have as much patience for like the C-level friends.
Not really.
You're like, give me like 9 awesome. Nine's too many.
Like
for anybody these days.
my bachelor party is going to be basically be my entire guest list minus the plus ones.
That's really cool.
So I was thinking about Katie Nolan getting an invite. I would love Katie to come to the wedding.
Katie
I would
should
also
come.
love Dan to come to the wedding.
Oh yeah, have that couple.
Do you feel any obligation to invite people to your wedding that have invited you to a wedding?
A little bit.
Because I recently discovered that I was getting invited to a wedding of someone I went to school with that I did not expect to get invited to.
Mhm.
And I would probably not have invited to my, not that I'm have any plans on getting married anytime soon, but like, now I kind of feel like I need to.
There are a lot of people that I was like, that I'm on the fence about. And I'll tell you most people fall off the fence one way, but if you invited me to your wedding, you're kind of falling off the other way.
Shout out Humpty Dumpty.
That's right.
Yeah. Yes. Sorry, Liz. You got dumped, bro.
What I was going to say about Ruben is the game is like you invite billionaires and celebrities to your wedding in the hopes that they're like, oh, sorry, I can't come. Here's a gift. Even though they didn't know you because just their assistant handled it or something.
Somebody
yeah, but
in
Michael Rubin's gift will be Fanatic stuff.
Jesse in the chat.
Give me the Canada Fanatic stuff.
Jesse in the chat, and I say this as somebody who will probably be at the bachelor party, says bring Katie to the bachelor party.
Oh my God.
My vote is strongly for that.
Yes.
Not to the wedding.
Not to the wedding, just to the bachelor. That's not. You can't do that.
That would be such a funny move.
That would be an incredible move to invite somebody to the bachelor party, but not the wedding.
I am pro small wedding, big reception because the reception's where you get the presents and you can bring more people. Although I get that the reception's probably the more expensive part.
The only reason why I wouldn't invite Katie to the bachelor party is because I feel like some people on the bachelor party would be weird about Katie being on the bachelor
That's her
party.
Oh, you're saying like they'd be weird because they'd be like, oh, it's a girl?
Yeah.
Or like they'd be weird because they're like,
they'd be like, it's a girl and it's Katie Nolan.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. But that's their fucking problem.
I know it is, but I don't want her to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, that kind of becomes everyone's problem.
Honestly,
at that point.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm gonna have a separate bachelor party with Katie.
In my mind, the three most important people at this bachelor party are you, me, and Katie. So you work around from there. Basically, the bachelor party is how can you and me have the most fun? And I think Katie's a part of that.
Fair.
More than whoever's going to be like, I follow Katie Nolan gifts on Twitter, and now I'm going to behave a certain way.
Telling you right now, if I get married within the next 5 years, Josh Allen and Haley Steinfeld are getting invited to my wedding.
You get to invite Rasmus Dahlin.
Yeah.
That's true.
Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen.
Oh, dude.
I'm
You
going to
and
invite
Von
the
Miller
entire
hung out.
Sabres. That is true. We've been in the same
Invite
room.
Dahlin and be like, you bring in the pizza?
I'd bring Jeff Skinner.
Well, no, then I have to invite Zach Benson.
Oh yeah, true.
It's very important the Oilers win the cup this year for a couple of reasons. We'll probably be there if they do win the cup, and celebrating with Jeff Skinner would be very, very big for us.
Yeah, like, but that would be, we'd be like even the Jeff Skinner's Stanley Cup celebration would be like the 8th most interesting celebration and night out he's had.
I've thought about that though. Like if the Oilers had won the cup and they'd won Game 7, what would it have been like on the ice? Because the home team won, everybody was going crazy, but there were still some guys you could just kind of walk right up to and chat with. Like, would there have ever been a moment on the ice where we would have gone up to Zach Hyman and been like, dude,
Yeah, Zach
way
Hyman
to
for
fucking
sure.
go? You think Zach Hyman would have been?
I think like Connor McDavid would have been untouchable just because there would have been a crowd around him the entire time.
Yeah,
But
would.
I mean, I
We
don't
got
think
to
anybody
Kachuk.
would have been untouchable, especially because it was in Florida. Like, they were skating all over the place. Like,
That's
you would have
true.
gotten up
Kachuk
there.
was accessible
Yeah.
too, yeah.
We would have so.
But you would have had all of Canadian media fucking swarming McDavid and just attached at the hip.
Well, getting back to McDavid, he famously is married. Congratulations to him. We do know that Celeste, who is Dreisaitl's fiance,
Yeah.
was a member of the wedding party. She was a member of Lauren's wedding party. Don't know
You're great. Like the mere suggestion
that Draisaitl
Leon
could not
wouldn't be part of Connor's wedding party is insane.
I'm assuming he is. I just haven't seen officially if he is, but
I guarantee you when the pictures come out, I'm willing to make this bet for my life that Leon is no further than like second to McDavid's party.
I
He
believe
has a brother, right? So
Yes,
you got to guess
that
that
might be
brother's
his
number
best
one.
man.
Yeah.
coward move, but yeah.
I'm willing to guarantee Leon is second.
I mean, yeah, I would.
He's got to be up there.
I don't know. Connor's kind of a private person, so I don't really know.
Dude, they fucking love each other.
I would be
Like,
surprised if he
a
wasn't
week
in the
after they
party.
lost the
But
Stanley Cup, they were working out. Do you see the video that Connor posted?
Mhm.
They were working out together, like they were slapping each other's ass and shit. Like they are in love.
I would be shocked at the very least, like if he wasn't in the party. I don't know if he has like other, like I don't know if his fiance has a brother or something, because sometimes you get forced into putting them in the party.
That dude's fourth.
fair
Courtney,
enough.
Courtney in the chat, is this confirmed or are you fucking around?
Double best man.
Someone says
Can't have
Leon
that.
and Cam were both best men.
I think unless you have two brothers, which I guess, Leon might as well be his brother. You can't. It's only one best.
Okay.
I disagree.
Okay.
My plans.
Fair enough.
I
Well-
think I'm going to do a couple.
Wait, for what?
Best men. I think I'm going to do co-best men.
You better not.
Why?
I'll drop out if you do co-best men.
Why? You think you're getting best man?
I don't want to say I'm your only option, but
I feel
unless
like
it's
your
Devin.
I feel like your nephew should be best man. Yeah.
Yeah, if you go, so I'll let you go Devin ahead of me. If you're going to go somebody else, like tied with me, I'll just bow out and say, that's fine. And I'll remember that.
I'll also remember that.
Yeah. What, that I refused?
You ruined his wedding.
Turned it down.
Yeah, and
You better
I
be careful
also,
because that would hurt our friendship. So like you're now trending towards not even getting an invite.
I also won't stand up there. I'll say I'm not gonna stand up there, give my spot to Sean. And the whole time you're up there looking at Sean, think about what a fucking weird move you pulled. Give it to Devin. Devin or Sean? Oh wow. So someone says Lauren posted that. Okay, so it looks like he was a best man.
I'd be a little mad if I bought the coverage to the McDavid wedding and Lawrence out here posting spoilers.
Yeah, and Courtney's just breaking all this news. They I do know that McDavid and Leon were both in I want to say Nurse's wedding party. So all those Oilers guys are
What a star-studded wedding that must have been.
Oh, I mean, hockey
yeah.
weddings are crazy.
But I mean, 3 of his relatives are also professional athletes. Like,
It's true.
yeah.
I do want to. We should show the video.
Right. So from the rehearsal dinner, Celeste posted this video of, oh my God. That's Leon just absolutely serving as somebody who looks kind of like Dave Kaz is just honking.
How do we
on
feel
that
about the
thing.
pant length though? Like
Perfect. He could do whatever he wants.
The pants are those are capris.
I'm pro showing ankle.
Dude, it's just like it's so uniform in hockey. Like every hockey player dresses the fucking same. They wear those short ass pants. None of them wear socks. Have a little individuality.
Are you pro sneakers with suit?
It depends. Like that,
Not there.
That I would be okay with.
I would have been fine if he was wearing like all white Air Forces.
Yeah.
I think
Like
that would have worked.
I typically don't love it, but it depends on the suit, depends on the person, depends on the vibe of the function. But I just think that like I'm seeing way too much ankle and calf from hockey players wearing suits.
Somebody asks, can a horse be a best man, Sean?
Nope, not a man.
Well, yes. Well, I guess not. So I
Wait,
guess
wait,
not.
what?
I was saying like
What do you?
What about BoJack Horseman?
yeah.
That's a man.
It's a horseman.
It's a
Yeah.
horseman, Sean.
Can BoJack Horseman get into the Olympics?
Does he need a rider in that situation? Is what I'm wondering. Can he
Depends
just do
what
his
sport.
own thing?
Depends what sport he's playing.
Interesting.
It'd be tough for him to shoot an air gun, an air pistol without. Wait, does he have fingers? He has hands, doesn't he, BoJack Horseman? He doesn't have
Yeah.
like hooves, right?
Yeah, he's like a horse on 2 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He can do whatever he wants.
Someone says normalize shaming sneakers with suits. I've been doing sneakers with suits for a bajillion years, mostly because Billy Joel used to do it in the 80s, not because it was becoming a cool thing. Then it became a cool thing, and then TV shows or whatever became a thing where it was like, we wear suits and we don't wear ties and we wear sneakers. So then I stopped wearing sneakers
That's
with suits.
okay with me. I don't like the playing it in between thing, which is like we're casual, but we're also dressing up. But what bothers me more than anything is the suit jacket on top of like a graphic tee.
Oh,
That
yeah.
shit is so dumb.
That's such a billionaire move.
It's
just
so
like, I don't know how
dumb.
to dress, so I'm going to throw things together.
It's like so many TV shows do that now, where they're like, "Oh, we're cool and we're casual," but they're
I'm wearing
not.
an Angry Birds shirt.
They're not committing to it. Just wear a fucking t-shirt and jeans or something.
I-
And don't
The graphic tees seem to all be the like Target.
got him from Target, got him from Old Navy. It's like not shit
Yeah.
you care about. It's just like oh, check it out. I'm wearing my Avengers t-shirt under
Pepsi
this.
on it.
Yeah.
One of my least favorite moves is like the thin hoodie under a suit coat.
Oh, that can be good.
I don't like it.
That can be good.
I don't like it.
Mm.
I'm fine with like a t-shirt, like a plain nice t-shirt under a suit jacket. Like that can be, especially if it's like an outdoor summer wedding or something like that. I'm fine with that, but there can't be graphic. There can't
Last
be print on it.
last Draisaitl thing, Bob Stauffer, friend of the show, spoke to Mike Liut, who is one of the agents handling the negotiation, and said it will be an 8-year deal with the Edmonton Oilers for Leon Draisaitl.
7 or 8, right?
He said 7 or 8, and then said it's going to be like most likely it's going to be 8. I would expect that to be don't Matthews me, bro.
What do you mean?
Don't do a 5-year deal.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that McDavid should for sure do like a 4-year deal and just like keep doing
He should just do 1-year deals for the rest of his career.
if he wanted to
1 year.
he could, and no matter
$16 million.
no matter what would happen, he would keep getting a raise every year. He could miss the entire year, and as long as the cap
But
goes
if Matthews does like a 4-year deal, he's up at 32.
well, I'm sorry, Matthews
Or I mean
did-
McDavid.
Yeah.
McDavid. If he did like a 4-year deal, he'd be up at 32.
is that
which
right?
which is not really what you want.
Would he be, how old is he right now?
He's going to be
20
28 next year at free agency.
Okay.
I thought he was a little bit younger,
Yeah.
but he's been around like 10 years at this point. Fucking crazy.
He should just go shorter and keep getting paid, and it would give people heart attacks, and but also it would always kind of be lightly a story, which for NHL talk purposes, I guess isn't the worst. But ideally, they each do 8, they stay there forever. But also, like, they better. The more I think about it, like this year, kind of a very important one.
They should win.
For like they
should-
really
they really
should
wanna
win
win.
the cup, because eventually Bouchard's going to cost an absolute shit ton of money, but they'll figure that out. That's for hockey shows to discuss. Alex Nylander signed a 1-year AHL contract with the Marlies. Both Sean and I upset and annoyed with that, because
Stay in
why is he
Columbus.
signing AHL contracts?
He ripped it up in Columbus.
Why? Very confusing that the Blue Jackets didn't bring him back. 11 goals, 15 points in 23 games for the Blue Jackets last season. What are you doing? Bring him back. Get a coach.
You think there's something there, maybe?
I don't know, but I would rather him be on an NHL team than do the little brother kind of thing with.
That's what I was say. That's the only reason I would be fine with it, if he was just like, I could have signed an NHL contract, but I just really wanted to go to Toronto with my brother.
Yeah, but like he was on like a 40-goal pace for the Blue Jackets last year.
I mean, not a smart
I don't
decision,
understand
but-
how that doesn't get re-upped by either side there.
Yeah.
It makes me think that, like, I mean, like, I don't want to throw out baseless accusations, but like, what's happening there?
What went down?
Yeah.
Did something go down? When you're trying to hire somebody, you want to make sure that you are making the best decisions. And with Indeed, we're driven by the search for better. When it comes to hiring, best way to search for a candidate isn't to search at all. Don't search. Match with Indeed. You're excited now because you know that within mere seconds, I'm going to talk about that engine. It's coming. It just keeps getting better. If you need to hire, you need Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform with over 350 million global monthly visitors, according to Indeed data, and a matching engine, there it is, that helps you find quality candidates fast. Ditch the busy work. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging so you can connect with candidates faster. Leveraging over 140 million qualifications and preferences every day, Indeed's matching engine is constantly learning from your preferences. So the more you use Indeed, the better it gets. It's a crazy engine. It just keeps getting better and better and better. Tesla could never, quite frankly. Also, Elon Musk, you're getting weirder and weirder and weirder, my guy. I don't know what's going on with that man. It's just getting worse for him. Indeed's matching engine keeps getting better. Join more than 3.5 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/AllCity. Just go to Indeed.com/AllCity right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/AllCity. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed.
I Love Lucy is no longer just a classic TV show. It's also a testimonial because I love Lucy nicotine.
You got some splaining to do. Go ahead.
Lucille Ball, by the way, Pride of Buffalo, New York.
Lucille Ball.
Well, Western New York. Clarence,
High
New
key
York.
bad.
Jesus Christ.
High key.
I'll allow it.
I'll allow it.
Fair. Lucy is 100% pure nicotine. It's always tobacco free. It's available in pouches, gum, and our favorite, the Breakers. The Breakers are like pouches, but they have a capsule of liquid flavor, so you're getting juicy Lucy's out of those, baby. They saturate the pouch, and they're available in 4 milligrams and 8 milligrams. They also come in mint, berry citrus, espresso, and pouches go all the way up to 12 milligrams if you're trying to get crazy. But if you're not a pouch guy or gal, Lucy Gum is available in 2 milligrams, 4 milligrams, or 6 milligrams. Set yourself up with a subscription, and you don't have to go to the grocery store, the gas station, wherever you get your nicotine.
Or
just have it
Minnesota.
delivered straight to your door.
You don't have to go to Minnesota to get those juicy Lucy's.
Nope, you do not. You don't have to go to Minnesota to get those juicy Lucy's. Have them delivered straight to your door. I have been absolutely hammering Lucy's on the golf course this summer. Just one after the other.
That does sound like a vibe.
It's incredible. I played golf the other day. I was just rotating out those Lucy's for 18 holes. I had a couple transfusions. It was incredible. I had my first eagle putt of my life. I missed it. It's fine, but I did bury the birdie putt.
Huge.
It's all good. I'm getting better. I'm trying to break 100. Haven't done it yet, but I will by the end of the summer. And I will do it with a Lucy tucked right into that lip with a nice little buzz going. So if you want to level up your nicotine routine with Lucy, go to lucy.co/whatchaos and use promo code whatchaos to get 20% off your first order. Lucy offers free shipping and has a 30-day refund policy if you change your mind. That's lucy.co using promo code whatchaos to get 20% off and always free shipping. Here comes the fine print. Lucy products are only for adults of legal age and every order is age verified. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. I love Lucy.
It's that good stuff, man. Speaking of black and white things, I watched I Love Lucy was a black and white show. I watched Streetcar Named Desire. You ever hear about that film?
I've heard about it.
It was great. It's like 1950s. It's what's his face? Who's the guy from The Godfather?
Don
Marlon
Corleone.
Brando.
Yes.
Young Marlon Brando, outrageously hot.
Yeah.
Painfully good.
Not so much at the end. Not to body shame, but somebody once said he looks like he ate Marlon Brando.
Yeah, well, he also died at the end of his life.
That's true.
So
most of us do.
rest in peace, him. The meat of today's show, the real hockey topic is weird is having a moment, which is odd to me because I like weirdness. I like when people are weird, as long as they aren't breaking any rules or hurting
endearing.
anybody. Weird. What's that?
Weird endearing.
It's funny you say that because endearing and derogatory is a big part of this next conversation. In politics, there's a big weird off happening. People are calling J.D. Vance weird. They're saying that Donald Trump is weird.
Well, J.D. Vance, did he fuck a couch?
To talk politics for a second, J.D. Vance is weird.
He is.
I don't think Trump is weird.
Oh,
Trump is his own thing.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, weird doesn't
he is
really
transcended weird.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
Trump is his own thing that we're not going to get into. But now there's clips of Trump being like, they're calling us weird. I'll tell you who's weird. Them. They're weird. And I'm like, okay, everybody stop saying weird. You're killing the word weird for me.
Yeah, like I don't want weird to be like a soup of the day kind of thing. Like where it's everybody's choosing weird as their adjective. I want weird to exist as it's always existed. It's always been part of my life.
It's something to be taken seriously.
Yeah. But I mean, JD Vance, I like that. Like, is this story true? We're doing that kind of stuff about JD Vance because he's had a weird life. He may have fucked a couch. I like having to consider whether or not a guy running for vice president has ever fucked a couch.
The couch thing is
led
weird.
to a lot of jokes.
The couch thing is tough for me because
you fucked a couch.
Famously, my relationship with libs, like making stuff up and just deciding it's true so they can have an argument, annoys me because I'm like, hey,
that's what politics is now.
Yeah,
like get in on the fun.
We shouldn't be we're supposed to have a little bit of moral superiority and we lose it when we're like, we just want to make an argument. So let's say it's this.
I
This
think
is
that's
outrageous enough that I think it's pretty funny that people are like, we are just deciding this
The
is
superiority thing is out the window. Everybody's fucking insane. Just lean into it, make up stories, and have fun with it as long as it leads to jokes and not like ruining people's lives.
Well, the conversation that we have off of this is what are the weirdest NHL teams? The weirdest NHL teams. And I had to really zoom out because first thought I had was Washington Capitals. You got a
Of
guy,
course.
greatest goal scorer ever, is turning 39 in September. You surround him with basically riffraff. You collect all the guys that nobody knows where they're going to go. All of the team is in no man's land. All of the players are in no man's land. It's so fascinating. They're weird, but they're weird endearing because they're an absolute party. Nobody knows if they're cool. I think they're cool. You think they're cool. Ryan Lambert thinks they are not cool.
Undecided.
Yeah.
I think you kind of just like you almost take the Capitals off the table at this point because they are the clear number one, like weirdest team in the NHL. I'm undecided as to whether it's endearing or derogatory. I think that is
Endearing.
The jury is out on that. It might be endearing for like a couple of weeks. They could be just horrible this season. Then you're like, fuck the Capitals.
Kind of like them making the playoffs was endearing until they started playing in the playoffs, and then it was like, oh, this is not good at all.
It was a waste of time.
It's a big waste of time. But not that anybody else who would have taken that spot would have been any less of a waste of time.
Fair.
Like the Capitals, I think there are two very clear ones for me. It's the Capitals and the Utah Hockey Club, because the Utah Hockey Club doesn't have a name. They have like a half-finished arena, basically. They are in a very weird spot. They are going to be an extremely weird team, and there's a lot of figuring out to do there.
But their roster, I agree that those are the two obvious ones. Their roster has direction, and their franchise has direction. It is weird that A, they're in Utah. B, as you said, they don't have any real branding. You could go to the NHL store, see a million items, not want to buy any of them. I would consider them weird, but are they weird endearing, weird derogatory? I think they're very endearing.
I think that they're weird endearing.
Yeah.
Because you're like, this shit's just like, it's a crazy year. It's a bridge year to being a real team.
Mm-hmm.
They're not even a real team yet. So yeah, it's a weird endearing, but like weird in a pretty finite timeline.
Can I give a submission for weird derogatory?
Yes.
Calgary Flames.
I don't even know if they're weird. I just think that they're uninteresting.
How did they happen? How is this happening?
How did we get here from like 2 years ago is your question?
What is going on?
Who's asking for this? Definitely nobody in Calgary.
Who's asking
Nobody asked for that in Calgary.
The best thing they have going for them is also something that's pretty weird, which is Tate McRae.
That's true.
And Tate McRae, weird endearing.
Yeah.
Calgary Flames experience right now, weird derogatory.
Uninteresting.
The players aren't having fun. Guys are getting moved out.
Yeah. I guess derogatory mean like I was gonna say like I wish that they're weird, but that I wish that they were weird endearing. So I guess that would make them weird derogatory. It is weird that they've found themselves here where what do you have there?
Yeah. What kind of weird are
What
the New York?
light is there in Calgary?
Yeah. What kind of weird are the New York Islanders?
Weird derogatory.
Yeah, just because it's like weird boring.
Yeah, it's
Weird wild.
What do you expect from them?
Yeah, like I'm not giving the Wild weird, even though shout out Brock Faber getting that huge contract. I love that the Minnesota Wild, after guys' rookie years, are like, we've seen enough. Here's a bunch of money. That is so fucking cool. So you know what, Wild? You are weird endearing. I'm gonna fuck around and be a Wild guy.
No.
I'm gonna say I'm going to be. This is gonna be like a few years ago. I said I was gonna be a Mac Jones guy to mock Patriots fans. I was like, hey, you're pretending Mac Jones is good. I'm going to do that too this year. I'm going to be every time Mac Jones throws a pass that's like 2 feet, I'm going to be like, wow, what a throw. I'm going to do some sort of facetious rooting or tongue-in-cheek for the Wild, but I know I'm going to forget about it after 3 days because the Wild
every
are
other
boring.
team is going to be more interesting, and you're going to be like, I'm wasting my time on these bozos.
You can't.
I got one. The Philadelphia Flyers are very weird.
So super endearing.
Yeah, because they have torts. Like
They have Torts. They have Danny Briere. He's so small.
legend.
you also have the gigantic Russian goalie. Don't know
Yes.
anything about that
You
guy.
forgot about that guy.
I forgot about that
famously.
guy. I did.
Thought they didn't have a goalie.
Who's their goalie? Samuel Ersson? You're like, no, the big fucking Russian doofus.
Yeah, I don't know his name.
Correct.
He's not a doofus. He could be.
I mean, he's gigantic.
Sean, crunch some numbers.
On if he's a doofus or not.
Yeah, how's he testing?
I think he's a doofus. What's his?
Can you find his old tweets, please?
They
I
have
don't speak
Michkov.
Russian.
Like that's weird.
Yeah.
They're weird. They got they're kind of like an old iPhone where they were exciting at first. They started to run out of battery, and then eventually at the end of the season, they didn't even turn on anymore. Then they get Michkov, which is like a nice little software update. They still got the same old hardware.
Yeah.
Like I don't think that the Flyers are going to be any good, but they're weird.
It's a good analogy.
They also half of my favorite storyline next year, which is the Cutter Gauthier Philadelphia Flyers rivalry.
Oh yeah.
That's going to be awesome.
That brings me to another point. Anaheim Ducks, extremely endearingly weird.
Good submission from Stacy, I was going to say, in the chat says the Ducks are weird. They have no captain and they have Trevor Zegras. That's good enough for me.
Yeah. They also have Cutter Gauthier.
Yeah.
They have a ton of very, very interesting forwards. Not a lot on the back end.
Radko
they do have
Gudas.
Radko Gudas.
Perfect. The Ducks are just overall, I don't even care if we want to use weird on them, but they're just, whatever they are endearing.
They have the Ducks have big like lunch table energy where you have the old guys that have been there for a while. You're talking about Cam Fowler. Can't believe he's still there. John Gibson. Can't believe he's still there. You got Radko Gudas, who's a seasoned vet, brought in to be an adult in the room. He's there. Like they have the adult lunch table. Frank Vetrano, adult lunch table at the Anaheim Ducks. But you also have the kids tables, and they have a lot of youth, a lot of exciting youth to that team. You got Zegras, McTavish. You got Cutter Gauthier. You've got. I mean,
Beckett Seneke, baby.
Oh my God.
Leo Carlson.
I'm
so in on Leo Carlson. I hope he's not a boring player.
I'm
shouldn't
very
be.
in on the Ducks. Ducks are going to be fascinating.
I'm
Endearingly weird for sure.
I want to do season 2 in Anaheim, man. I'm telling you. Get us there.
Yeah.
I'm in on them. I'm also in on Prize Picks, America's number 1 fantasy sports app with more than 5 million members. It's the most fun and exciting way to get on the action while you watch your favorite sports and players. You just pick more or less on 2 or more players' stats for a shot to win up to 100x your cash. I've been watching a lot of baseball. Been in on baseball, went to a Mets game the other night. It was fantastic. Citi Field, what a place. Got some Red Sox games coming up. The Red Sox playing well. Picked up a couple of arms at the trade deadline. So I am going to be prize pixing the hell out of them. Demons, goblins, you know how we do with that. If you're looking for promotions, Prize Picks has got you covered every week, from lowering a selected player's stats projections on Tuesdays, which increases your chance of getting a win, to getting your entry fees back if you have a losing lineup on Fridays. Prize Picks, man, they just have it all. It is such a good experience. I made my first $10 deposit and received an instant $10 bonus. If you have the skills, you can play for a shot at turning your $10 into $1,000. Download the app today. Use code WhatChaos for a first deposit match up to $100. That's code WhatChaos for a first deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
And if your money is piling up from Prize Picks, there's this glare bouncing off the coins and gold bars that you're acquiring from Prize Picks.
Yes.
You also might want to consider investing in some Shady Rays, because Shady Rays, man, they got quality shades built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered with premium polarized shades that won't break the bank. It's an independent sunglasses company that offers world-class products rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Their shades have durable frames and crystal clear optics, making them the perfect choice for all outdoor adventures. Also, like if you want to be a sunglasses inside kind of guy, it's a choice. You could do it. And if you're going to do it, you may as well do it with Shady Rays, because they have hundreds of options to choose from. You're bound to find the perfect pair to match your style. And if your style includes hockey jerseys, they got some styles that will include your team's favorite colors. We love Shady Rays. And one of the things we love most about Shady Rays is their protection and replacement guarantee. If you lose or break, or maybe even don't even like the pair of Shady Rays that you buy, you're going to like them. But by some chance, you're a tough customer and you don't, they're backed by lost or broken replacements, so you can exchange them for a new pair, return worry-free within 30 days. There's no risk when you shop. Their team always has your back with personal and fast support. So exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Head to shadyrays.com and use promo code AC35 for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. We also have a couple of super chats. A couple of really good ones. Ambassador Degree says, I Luke Real Hughes today, which, hell yeah, brother.
Nice. Good job.
That's a great little reference. John Evans says, can't watch today, busy traveling, but you know I had to drop in and say, hello, let's go Wings. That is a team that I also wanted to discuss. I think they're weird. I'm undecided into where they land on the weird scale.
Yeah, they're in no man's land right now. It's not a good place to be.
I think they might be okay.
I'd say they're in no man's land, but that's
maybe
playoffs. I mean, we talked about the fringe of the Eastern Conference a couple weeks ago. I don't even think we said the Red Wings name. I think we got them penciled in for missing the playoffs. Oh,
no, I'm definitely not penciling them in to miss the playoffs. I think that they're going to be around the same team that they were last year, maybe a little better, maybe not. I don't know. I think they're going to hang around that same neighborhood. They're going to be a bubble team. Like if you're saying they're in no man's land, that they're not going to contend for a cup, that I can probably agree with. But who knows? They could be one of those teams that is like a few nice ads at the deadline away from becoming better.
I have a massive, weird, endearing team. The Nashville Predators. They are an NHL team in Tennessee. They always have a Finnish goalie. And if you say anything about that Finnish goalie, their fans who are in Tennessee will fucking kill you. They are very passionate about their team, their Finnish goalie. There's always a lot of cowboy hats going on. They've got an arena right downtown, just off of Broadway. It's an incredible scene. Just madness over there. And they have Steven Stamkos on their team right now. And he's about to go scorched earth and win the Hart next year. So I love them.
They're also pretending like Brady Shea is like some elite defenseman now. Which is on like the longer I sit with the Nashville Predators offseason, they've done a good job. They're really interesting. The Brady Shea contract is going to be bad. I think it's going to be bad. Brady Shea is
fine.
He is not getting paid like a fine defenseman.
You don't go sign 3 big money guys without one of them being a bad contract.
That's true. That's a good point.
But yeah, the Predators, man, they've got that good weird stuff that I like. Any other weird teams?
We got another super chat. Stacey Faye, the love of your life, would like you to say toxic. Yuri, I don't know either. Shrug. Okay. Shout out to Love of Your Life. Just
is Love of Your Life not here?
No, I'm
delegating super chats.
Yeah, they had someone send a super chat for him.
That's incredible.
I wouldn't take $2.90. It wouldn't take. So Love of Your Life is just sitting out. Do we have any? Charlie says weird in parentheses slur.
Talking about Johnny because Johnny yet again came at your mustache.
Johnny is. I don't want to say like uncomfortably obsessed with my mustache, but it's not interesting enough to elicit.
Johnny's being weird derogatory about your mustache.
Yes. There are too many more interesting things, even about me. Oh, and I mean, though, in the world, than my mustache.
Johnny did also suggest an actual team. He said that the Ottawa Senators are weird and endearing.
I was going to bring up the Senators. I do believe that they are weird and endearing. I want the Senators to be good so bad.
Yeah, I'm rooting for them, but they might be a little weird, boring. Brady needs to like swing his stick at some people a little more this season. Cause a little more. He can do it.
Ridley Gregg, firing away a little bit more.
Yeah, I need some more shit out of them.
I think the Senators could be. I don't know what to feel about the Senators because I'm tentative to buy in on them because they were like one of the worst teams in the league last year in basically every meaningful category. But they got a goaltender.
Yeah.
They could be good.
Yeah.
I love Linus Ullmark. Gonna root. I have to root for the Senators for solely Linus Ullmark purposes. But I would like the Senators to be good. I would love for the Senators and for the Buffalo Sabres to push for a playoff spot. Only one of them is going to get it maximum. But I would love at the end of the season for both of those teams to be in the mix.
I mean, this is the year that I have to be a Sabres fan because I was pushing against you being excited about them this year because it could just happen another year. And this year isn't as promising for them as last year was. Just getting rid of Skinner and not replacing him is kind of weird.
Hey, they got Jason Zucker.
But that's Sean and I were talking before the show. Like, that's kind of it. And Sean, you raised a good point about the Skinner thing.
Yeah, they haven't spent the money. Like, why'd they cut him? Or why they just
like bought him out and didn't do anything with that money.
I mean, it could have been a Barry Trotz kind of situation. Nashville, he arrived. He immediately bought out Matt Duchene and Ryan Johansson. He did spend it with Ryan O'Reilly to change the culture a little bit. I don't want to cast this sort of suggestion on Jeff Skinner, who I love much.
I've said to Jeff Skinner, not everybody likes you.
Well, yeah, of course. But do you think that Jeff Skinner may have been pushed out the door because of to change the vibes around the Sabres a little bit? Take things a little bit more seriously. I don't know.
Yeah, that's totally plausible. I love Jeff Skinner and I love his personality, but I know this isn't maybe it's even a commentary on NHL and their culture. There have been a lot of guys that have been considered like coaches or whomever might not totally love them, and I'm like, well, I love them. Yeah, they seem pretty fine to me. So maybe you got to stick up your ass. I don't know, but sometimes those pieces just don't fit.
Yeah, maybe it was just they didn't want him to be a leader of that team. Maybe they didn't think that he was the leader of that team. So
well, then maybe don't throw him a fucking outrageous party for his 1,000th game.
Another weird mood.
Interesting that he didn't wear a letter most of the time.
I think he's been a career doesn't wear a letter guy.
I thought that he wore one in Carolina.
Maybe did he towards the end? He could have gotten one of the early ones where his second. Yeah, he wore an A in Carolina. You're our second best player, so I guess you're gonna wear something. But there are some guys I consider him one of them. You can be a great player without having to wear a letter. If Tyler Seguin went his whole career without wearing a letter, I wouldn't care about that. Be he had a really good career. Nice one.
Another weird mood for the Sabres is signing James Reimer. I don't know what's happening there.
That is weird, concerning.
Yes,
not concerning of how could you let him on your team?
It's just what's up with Devin Levi.
Yes, your goaltending situation seemed pretty set to me.
Yeah. And Devin Levi was supposed to be the guy kind of last year, and he clearly wasn't. And they spent most of the season.
They didn't pay for Reimer, though, did they?
No, but what's the point of signing him?
You can never have too many goalies.
Yeah, but
it's not like a quarterback situation where if you have 3 goalies, you got 3 quarterbacks, you got no quarterbacks.
You don't have one.
Yeah,
I think that you can have 3 goalies and be in okay shape.
I just wouldn't think it would be a guy like Reimer if they were thinking it was going to be UPL and Devin Levi tandem.
I mean, Reimer had a
904, right?
A 904 last year, which is it's weird to think now that's good.
I don't have a problem with Reimer being the backup goalie. My problem is more what does that mean for Devin Levi? Because he's not going to play in the NHL again, assuming that Reimer is good and is the backup.
I need Levi to be there.
Yeah,
I love that.
That's
tandem.
what I'm saying.
I have too many tweets about Devin Levi that he's got to be good. I'm gonna get quote tweeted into oblivion if Devin Levi ends up sucking.
Yeah,
can't have it.
We do have a report from What Chaos Insider Johnny Lazarus, who reports that part of why he's so obsessed with my mustache is he's jealous of it.
Okay, checks out.
I don't know if it's a good enough mustache to be jealous of either. Laz, you're all over the place. Don't be jealous of a good mustache.
Super chat from Michael Curtis. Hi, Mike. I love you. Was the love of your life banned for
Yes.
piloting?
Yes. Do you know about this?
I can't
Piloting the Canadian soccer team's drone program.
I can't believe I didn't bring that up during the Olympics thing.
Yeah,
It's
I can't believe it
arguably
either.
the funniest thing that's happened during the Olympics.
Yeah, Canada cheating using drones to spy on New Zealand and then beating New Zealand right after, and New Zealand being like, they had drones.
Well, not
over
only
our
that,
practice.
but Canada is the defending Olympic
They're
gold
good.
medalist and the 8th ranked team in the world. New Zealand was like 32nd ranked, and they were like, we got to cheat on these fucking Kiwis.
It's like the undefeated Patriots spying on the Jets.
Yeah. For
Don't have to do
who
it
and for
against
why.
that, man.
Yeah.
But do you think maybe it wasn't for like beating them purposes? Maybe it was just to laugh at them. Maybe they just wanted to see the practice and be like, check out these bozos. They practice like morons. Maybe Bill Belichick just wanted to film the Jets practice to be like, get a load of these morons.
It
You
would
just
be
wanted to see them
amazing.
practice the haka.
It'd be amazing if they were like, oh, we're taking all your hard drives, we're taking all your computers. And what they found were they'd made fan cams of New Zealand to like try to hype up Canada into thinking they're good. But there was no game footage of them looking good. So they had to get training footage because they're playing against their terrible selves. And so the only clips in which New Zealand looked good was when they were going up against themselves in training. So they made fan cams to be like, wow, watch out for these beasts. It was just all a very pro-New Zealand thing. Canada, bad behavior.
What are you doing?
Insane behavior.
They said, I love they sent the coach home, though. They're like, you don't get to be at the Olympics anymore. Get out of here.
They
Gone.
also took like 6 points off the table, I think, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Which
I like
basically fucks the team.
I honestly, I'm not too sure.
That's a lot of points, isn't it?
I would think so. I'm not too specific, sure on the details, so I don't really know.
Yeah. Let's see. What's Lazarus talking about? The Sabres. They were the sexy team to make the playoffs last year. Yeah. Everybody excited.
Sabres have absolutely lost the aura.
Yeah.
They are no longer the darlings. I don't know are we anointing a new darling? Like, is it Nashville?
I mean, I've got my eye on the Sabres this year.
Nashville's too good. They were in the playoffs
Yeah.
last year, and they got better. Like, I don't know if you could.
Yeah, that's fair.
I've
Like,
got my
who
eye
is
on the Sabres this year. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying they're making the playoffs, but I've got my eye on them.
Who is the disco darling of this season?
Is there one? I feel like the Sabres are still kind
Oh,
of
it's Utah. People are going to be. I mean, I'm on Utah.
I mean, again, Utah last year
Capitals.
was like they were a good team for a lot of the year. They were in a playoff. They were in the playoff race at U.S. Thanksgiving.
Mhm.
So
Jersey said on Empty Netters, by the way, he was like, the we're moving thing absolutely was part of us falling apart.
Oh, really?
I believe
He was like,
that.
he was like, we did the thing where it was like, hey, this stays out of the room. We don't talk about it. We don't think about it. And then we lost 14 games in a row. Like,
Not
that's-
unrelated.
Yeah, I mean, how could it be unrelated? That guy, you want to talk about a guy on whom I'd put a letter. I would fucking tattoo a letter to that guy.
He's the
He's
best.
gonna they're gonna end up telling him eventually. They're gonna be like, hey, ease up on the podcasts.
Ease
You're
up on
too cool.
the team dinners where you shit on the other forward groups.
That's one of the best things we've gotten. In an
That's
interview.
so funny that
That's
exists.
amazing.
Last submission for me for weird teams.
Oh, the Devils. That's the.
They're not weird.
No, but it's the
Devils are just
darling.
good.
Oh, the darling team. Yeah, that could be.
That's
be it.
annoying though. That's
But
so,
like
They
like,
shouldn't have been
they
in a
should
position-
not be
yeah.
in contention to be darlings because
They should just be a
fucked
playoff
up
team.
last year so bad.
that's like being like my MVP pick in the NFL this year is Aaron Rodgers, dark horse, and it's like, yeah, well, he just didn't happen last year.
If he just did his job, he is supposed to be
Yeah,
a top level talent. Yeah.
Extremely endearing, weird. The Chicago Blackhawks. Chicago Blackhawks have a real team now. They've got like a fairly decent top six. They're still not good. They're going to be so much fun to watch. Like, not in a depressing way.
Bertuzzi signing was so weird, half
So
endearing to
weird.
me.
So weird, but he's gonna be awesome for them.
Bertuzzi signing was weird for me.
But like, he's gonna be really good.
Yeah, I love him.
Taylor Hall is gonna be really good for them.
Bounce back Hall.
Yeah.
We have a super chat from Sabrina Sandy, who says, consider this a bid for wedding coverage of the Deej or Sean wedding, whoever needs it more. Okay. Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Sabrina, who submits their money in Canadian. That's cool. Very nice. Habs are darlings.
No way.
I want the Habs to be something.
Habs are nothing. That's it.
They're
nothing.
Habs are coming in 2 years. They're 2 years away.
They're 2 years away from coming.
Yes.
Like they're not.
They're on SSRIs.
The Habs are flaccid. Habs are flaccid.
That's not what that means. I mean, SSRIs. It's not about the flaccid versus the other thing.
Really?
It's
there's just nothing.
It varies. It's
just nothing happening. Well, I mean, like that's frustrating, but it could be worse.
It can be. There's obvious pros and cons to what the Canadians are going through right now. Pete's never taken SSRIs. What a loser. No. Hawks becoming Boston.
I raw dog depression.
West plus Bedard. I mean, Boston would be weird.
They're a little weird.
Like Boston last year could have been weird.
No, like
I'd say weird for
they were successful, but they were still fucking weird.
Right, like Danton Heinen's in your top 6 and you're the best team in the NHL. What the fuck's going on?
We entered last season. We didn't do this bit before last season, but if we had, Bruins would have been one of the first teams mentioned. Such a weird year for the Bruins. James Van Riemsdyk was on the team.
Yeah. James Van Riemsdyk is going to get such a fucking PTO.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know with whom, but
he's going to have the quietest retirement. It's going to make me so sad.
You think?
Yes. It's just going to be like James Van Riemsdyk has officially announced his retirement like in the middle of February. And people will be like, bro, he's been retired. It's going to be one of those.
Dan says any team with Nick Foligno is endearing by default.
Yes.
I strongly agree with that. And Nick Foligno's transition from awesome player to great vet has been so smooth. There was never like this guy sucks now, because he doesn't suck. But usually when it's just like
when he was hurt that first year with the Bruins.
I mean, like that was they signed him because he's a good guy contract. But that's just the thing that the Bruins do.
Chicago Blackhawks have Frank Nazar. He rocks.
Oh, right. Yeah. They've got guys who
They've got guys.
Pat Maroon was a Boston darling. No one cared about Pat. I didn't care about Pat Maroon at all when he was. Where did Pat Maroon end up going? Did he end up going to Chicago?
He did. He sure did.
He's wearing 77.
He's wearing 77?
That's cool.
That's wild.
Let me double check that, but I remember seeing the NHL post like players' new numbers this year.
I mean, 77 is one of the fatter numbers. So
I associate it with like skill
Same.
or big guys, like big, tall, not big.
I can't associate it with anything but Ray
Width.
Bourque. That is a number that I have just stapled to a player.
Ray Bourque?
It's just, like I can't.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Same.
Oh, this is the type of player that it's just Ray Bourque's
It's
number.
Ray Bourque. Yeah, 100%.
Like that's why I loved 88, because even though I really associated it with Eric Lindros, there's still a lot of utility with that number. Patrick Kane had it, but different guys can kind of wear it. 77. That should almost be like a universally retired number. Speaking of, ESPN did their top 25 players
Top 100.
Top 100 of the last however many years? The century. And a lot of people, I saw the top 10 and Bergeron was 10.
Oh, you're talking just the hockey list?
Yeah. And I was like, I love Patrice Bergeron. That's too high. And he was higher than Chara. And I was like, guys, this is ridiculous. Clicked on the list. Chara was 11. I could do that. But then I saw a lot of people were angry because Chara was higher than Duncan Keith. You don't want to hear this? Chara was so much better than Duncan Keith.
He was definitely better
than Duncan Keith. Unbelievable player. Chara, I think, is like really one of the best defensemen
of all time
ever. Yeah. Better than, like, talking about possibly, like, better than Bourque, better than Bobby Orr. Like, Chara's one of the best defensemen ever.
I'm going to keep myself out of that conversation.
But it does, Bobby Orr and Chara are just like different general. Like, it's a stupid argument anyway.
Right. Like, if Bobby Orr played now,
Chara would fucking. Chara would be better than Bobby Orr if they played each other.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think that's pretty high for Bergeron. Like, Bergeron is the best, like, defensive forward maybe ever in NHL history, but like, top 10 in the last century. That's pretty high.
That's because if you were like, who are the top 10 players of the last century? I'd be like, ooh, Connor Bedard. I'm sorry, Connor McDavid.
Wild.
Connor McDavid, Sidney Crosby, Nathan McKinnon, Leon Draisaitl. Like that's 4 right
Yeah.
there. Like, who are the guys that hog all the hearts? I mean, obviously Alex Ovechkin, Austin Matthews. I'd begrudgingly put up there because he's just such a fucking unbelievable goal scorer. Like it takes.
And then I would put like the shutdown defenseman and like the dominant defenseman, and then you've got like 3-4 more right there.
People were mad that Carey Price wasn't high up there. I'm like, I don't even fucking think about Carey Price.
Nope.
I don't think about goalies.
No, not really.
No.
There are 4 goalies on this list, it looks like.
Hit us.
Brodeur.
Or 5 goalies. At 7 is Brodeur. At
Hasek.
8, no, it's 21st
No.
century.
Oh, 21st century.
Yeah.
That changes things. I thought you were saying the last century. We're talking only 21st century.
Oh, you're saying like you thought I meant like the last 100
100
years? Well, that doesn't matter because none of the guys. Like,
That's fair.
Still, I would just
but
take.
I would have been surprised if Bergeron was at 10 with how many guys would be more.
Was
included
number
in
1 McDavid? Just making sure.
No, it was Sidney Crosby.
That's wrong.
I think that's fine.
I'm fine with that, just based off of like a resume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I could just, I mean, it's
We're coming at it from different things.
Crosby, Ovi, McDavid, Kane, Lindstrom, McKinnon, and then 7 Brodeur, 8 Lundqvist, Malkin 9, Bergeron, Chara, Stamkos, Draisaitl, Joe Thornton, Austin Matthews, Erik Karlsson, Nikita Kucherov, Marc-Andre Fleury, Andre Vasilevsky, Jerome McGinley at 20, Kopitar, Pavel Datsyuk, Duncan Keith, Victor Hedman, and at 25, Jonathan Quick.
Okay. Datsyuk too low.
So here's my question. Like, if we're talking about best players in the 21st century, like, are you counting only the years of some of those older guys
So like
in the
Hasek,
21st century?
Like Hasek wouldn't count because most of his good years were all in the 90s and stuff like that.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I generally try to not get worked up about
I don't
these
like
lists.
list talk.
Yeah, but I'll say Datsyuk is better than. Like, I love Joe Thornton,
Most
but like
people.
Datsyuk better than Joe Thornton.
Datsyuk better than most people.
What was interesting to me was their whole 100 greatest athletes of the 21st century, because hockey players did not rate there at all, which I was fine with. I think it was right. I think most of the list was pretty fair, especially
Unless,
like the top
like,
25.
And when like the
Throwing
top
Crosby and McDavid in there, they got to be in there. Like, those are
They're in the
dominant
list somewhere,
players.
but yeah, they're not like in the top 10.
But wouldn't like I feel like the top like 3 would be tennis players anyway.
Number
Messi,
one was
Ronaldo.
number one was Michael Phelps, which I think is absolutely correct.
fair.
World record holder of nothing. Go on.
True. Leon Marchand broke his last record.
Yep.
Pride of Arizona State University.
You know what, Pete?
No.
Michael Phelps has no records.
I mean,
Well,
he's
crazy.
That's
still
not
got
true.
like 15
He's got
gold
the
medals.
medals record.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
got the record.
But like
But,
the
yeah,
like
the actual swimming
competition
records,
records,
But that stuff is meant to be broken.
yeah. I
Yeah.
hope it gets broken. Yeah.
I know 2 was Serena. I think 3 was Messi. I don't remember the list off the top of my head. I have to find it. But yeah, hockey players didn't really rate there.
They didn't show. Pete, do a like spike for these nice people.
It is like Spike time. If you're here, please hit that thumbs up button right below the video player. Let's jump those likes. Let's get a high number. Let's also get some additional subscribers to the channel, please. If you're here, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're not already, we love getting those numbers up. It's climbing, somehow climbing during the summer a little bit, but would love to see it climb a little bit more. So like Spike and channel subscription spike, please. Are we done with hockey?
Yes.
Last thing on the list is the first hockey player on the top 100 was Sidney Crosby at 22.
Damn.
That feels so that's giving we should put a hockey player here.
It's like, yeah, we've gone 20
We
picks
haven't
without
done
a hockey play.
shoot. We haven't done a hockey player.
I don't even know where the next one comes because I'm at 50 and there's not another one yet.
Dude.
That's wild.
It's
Blackhawks fans are like
Ovechkin was 2 at 54. He was the second hockey player at 54.
crazy.
it's not great behavior, but it's a list. Who cares?
I think it's fair.
We both got an opportunity to see The Instigators last night, which, if you're unaware, The Instigators is an Apple TV and Apple Films original with Matt Damon, Casey Affleck, and a cast that will just blow your fucking brains out.
In theaters Friday. make sure you go support
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was straight to Apple TV.
Well, it's an Apple thing.
Okay.
Like, because they put like those in theaters.
Okay.
So it's, I think this, I don't think it could not end up in theaters, but a lot of those end up going to theaters, especially like big ones. And yeah, this cast is crazy. Casey Affleck, Matt Damon, you're like, okay. And it's
I'm
a
already
Boston
in.
movie. So that seems like par for the course. Jack Harlow, which I'll be honest, my initial thing was like, people think Boston is so white that they just put Jack Harlow, who is a Kentucky person, in it and just speaks with his regular accent in this movie. And everyone's like, yeah, okay, whatever. Par for the course. I'll quickly say, Jack Harlow, good in this movie.
Pretty good.
But it's the rest of that. Pete started watching it about maybe 45 minutes before I did. And he texted me, this cast is outrageous. I knew that
Every person that shows up on screen, basically, you're like, I know that guy, I know that woman, and they are incredible.
and it's people that we love. So
Yes.
I knew that it was Casey Affleck, Matt Damon, and Hong Chow were the
Yes.
3 stars of the movie. If you follow either Pete or myself in either of our movie work, we love Hong Chow. Hong Chow is up there with Michael Stuhlbarg for us as like real favorite actors who, if they're in something, we're seeing it. Michael Stuhlbarg is also in this movie. And Alfred Molina.
We are a wrong Affleck away from this being the biggest brunch-coded cast of all time.
I would still say it's the biggest brunch-coded cast.
Because there is an Affleck attached to it.
And I mean, we both love Casey Affleck.
Yeah, oh yeah. Casey Affleck, by the way. I don't know if this is any sort of hot take, but like a much better actor than
You
Ben
always
Affleck.
note that he's a better actor than
He's
Ben
a
Affleck.
better actor than Ben Affleck.
I
much
agree.
better.
I agree. It's just that Ben Affleck has those classic scenes. He has the, if you're still coming over watching Patriots games, I'll fucking kill you.
He just arrived first.
Casey Affleck's scene is taking the gun in the police station and trying to kill himself. So everyone's like, well, Casey Affleck is just the guy that always looks like he's going to cry. Casey
Yes.
Affleck, phenomenal actor. I know he's somebody who wants, he always wanted to be like the more comedic one of the two.
Casey did?
Ben has gotten to be the kind of funny stuff. This is a comedy movie. It's a comedy hijinks thriller. It's sort of going for, I'll just say like, it's a way less funny The Other Guys, where it's 2 people stuck doing
The other guys or the nice guys?
The Other Guys. Do you know The Other Guys? The Other
The Other
Guys?
Guys-
It's a classic film.
Like
That's
the Will Ferrell.
Yeah, Will Ferrell.
Oh, this movie is funnier than that movie.
Are you not a The Other Guys
I'm
guy?
Not
Oh, I
really a
love
The
Oh,
Other
so
Guys.
people love
I
The
know.
Other Guys. The Other Guys is fucking
the nice
so funny.
The nice guys is
Nice Guys
way
also good.
funnier than the other guys.
The Nice
I
Guys is
think
great.
that is quite the hot take.
Yeah, people would disagree with
Oh,
that.
yeah, I think
but I still want you to.
will
I
die
want you to
on
live your
that
truth.
hill.
I want you to live
Yeah.
your truth.
The nice guys is 1,000 times funnier than the other guys.
That's a take.
It's 1,000
I
times
just
funnier.
we don't disagree too often on this kind of stuff. But I want you to live your truth, and I like you having something that you're like, fuck everybody,
Yeah.
fuck the world.
I was never really like the other guys guy.
Oh, I was a The Other Guys. fan.
I mean,
haven't-
the fucking tuna and lion scene is one of my favorite comedy movie scenes ever. I love that shit.
great movie, but
Aim for the bushes.
Instigators. I just did the Trump thing. Silence of the Lamb. Instigators is incredible. My only issue with it, same issue I had when I was watching Barbarian for the first time, which was 10 minutes into it. God damn it. I shouldn't be watching this on my fucking iPad. I should be in a theater with a bunch of people hooting and hollering. The second this movie hits theaters, I'm going to go see it in theaters. I'm going to be throwing popcorn in the air, high-fiving the boys. It's going to be incredible.
Let's see it tomorrow night,
Oh,
7:15.
but yeah,
PM,
Alfred
7,
Molina
7:15.
in it. Jack Harlow. I
Yep.
did text
Ron Perlman,
Ron-
Paul Walter Hauser,
Yes.
Ving Rhames, Alfred Molina, Toby Jones.
Yeah.
Crazy cast.
Wild cast. Really, really well done. And just, I've said it before, but I love Hong Chow so much. I love the dynamic between Casey Affleck and Hong Chow in this movie is just amazing.
The 3 of them.
Hong
Matt
Chow
Damon too.
is
Like
tasked with being the only adult in the movie. And she's like, you know what? I don't totally want to be an adult the whole time. Great stuff. So you would say, I was going to push it as a lower level the other guys. You're saying better than the other guys.
I think it's better than the other guys. I
Great,
think this
great
movie,
sales pitch then.
This movie is so fucking funny. It is so funny.
Oh, such a
It's so stupid. It's insane. It's an insane movie, but it like the humor in it is not stupid. The movie itself is stupid.
Yes.
But the humor in it is smart and it's extremely funny. It is a very well-written movie.
Written by Casey Affleck. How do you feel about the move to just have Jack Harlow use his normal speaking voice?
I don't care. He could just be a
I thought it was
transplant.
very funny off the rip because
Just a transplant who dresses in full Red Sox gear.
so that's the thing. Like he's wearing like an old Red Sox jacket. He's dressed like Sean wearing the Red Sox hat, and he's just talking in his southern drawl.
You know who he is?
Who?
He's the straight guy at the Pride Parade who dresses.
Yeah.
It's
like, hey, I'm here for this.
Yeah, and everybody's like, oh, we don't do that. Like, we don't dress in all rainbows. We don't dress in full Red Sox gear when we're not going to a Red Sox game.
Strong recommendation. I'm going to go to see it in theaters, and I'm going to dress in all Red Sox stuff. It's going to be
I
exciting.
mean, he picked some good Red Sox stuff. That old Red Sox jacket. Mwah.
I mean, Stuhlbarg as a Boston criminal was amazing. Also, when you watch it, make sure you stay for the mid-credits scene.
Yes, very funny. Stuhlbarg pulled off a Boston mob boss like way better than I expected, which is stupid of me because Michael Stuhlbarg can do anything he wants.
Stuhlbarg and Molina, very good for that kind of thing.
They were really good. I will say, I would love a sequel to this movie.
Yes, I want more of them.
Love a sequel, but don't love the mid-credit scene for that purpose.
How that sets up who we would have in it.
Love this movie. Highly, highly recommend. It is going to end up on my year-end favorite list, 100%.
Great stuff. Sean, what you smiling at, boy?
Two things I'm laughing at. First, I just saw a tweet yesterday, I guess, was the International Day of Friendship. And the London Eye, the Ferris wheel in London, tweeted at the Empire State Building and said, "Happy International Day of Friendship at Empire State Building, from one world-class view to another." And the Empire State Building quote tweeted it and said, "I would never be friends with a Ferris wheel." And that's the funniest shit I've ever seen. And then Charlie in the chat said, "Speaking of Pride, Eric Stahl retired."
Yep.
True.
Shout out to him. People forget he wore the Pride jersey.
I was thinking about that this morning. I was thinking about Eric Stahl, his career. The Stahl family, all of them, they're really good players. Well, Mark Stahl's not a really
They
good player.
fucked up so, just
they
do
take-
gay shit.
No. I'm not even getting to there yet. Before any of that shit happened, the Stahls, I never felt any sort of way about them.
They were always boring.
So boring.
Yeah.
I remember
That's fair.
watching them
So
get
boring.
drafted, and I never cared about like, ooh, there's a new family in the NHL. Just never
I
cared.
didn't care about the Stahls for 1 second in their entire careers until Eric Stahl. Like I didn't even care that much that he was like, I'm not wearing the Pride jersey. I only started to care about the Stahls when Eric Stahl said, I'm not wearing the Pride jersey, and I've never worn the Pride jersey, and I never will wear the Pride jersey. And everybody was like, brother, we got photographs. We got video evidence. You wore the Pride jersey. He was like, I've never worn the Pride jersey.
I missed that part.
Crazy
I didn't
thing
know
to
He
he
do.
just.
also wore a sick Pride jersey. Like he
That's
wore
so
one of
funny.
the coolest and gayest Pride jerseys.
It's so funny that like somebody would just be, I never wore it.
That was like
I never wore
We're
it.
talking about the Canadians one, right?
Yes.
That was.
Do you remember that?
That was ultra cool. That was such a good Pride
No, but
jersey.
do you remember when he was like, I never wore it. I've never done it before, and I'm never going to do it.
exact same energy as Trump during his trial, being like, "I did not have sex with a porn star," and it's like we are so far past that.
Yeah,
point.
it's like the only thing we know for sure is
Is
you
that
did.
you
Like people were riding for you because
you did it.
you fucked a
Yeah.
porn star, and you're like, that's not what everybody's taking issue with.
That's such a
Eric Stahl's,
crazy
I've
move.
never done it. Never
That's
once.
So funny, dude.
One last Trump thought. It seems like he's moved on from talking about Silence of the Lambs, which is very big for me because I was worried he was going to get elected just on that, because making your platform, how come I'm not allowed to talk about Silence of the Lambs, is the coolest fucking thing a politician could do. And I was really worried that Trump had stumbled on to like doing something cool. And I was like, fuck, dude, he better forget about this real quick. And then people started being like, why does he keep talking about Silence of the Lambs? I'm like, don't do that. He's going to give more speeches. And he did. He gave speeches about like, and no one wants me to talk about Silence of the Lamb. And everyone's like, boo. Ooh, talk about Silence of the Lamb. Singular. And he's like, ma'am, the late great Hannibal Lecter would have you for dinner. And like they're fainting. Like they're fucking teenagers at a Beatles concert. I was really worried about that.
Hannibal Lecter is one of the funniest things he's ever done.
When, to my knowledge, does Hannibal die in any of these things?
I mean, he was 9,000 years old.
Trump's 9,000 years old.
It's true.
Yeah.
Speaking of funny rally behavior, Kamala yesterday had a rally in Georgia.
Quoted Quavo.
The funniest thing I've ever said.
funny.
I don't even understand what she was talking. She was talking about how like Trump doesn't actually do the things he says, and he was like
talking about border security.
Yeah.
It was like he doesn't follow through on his promises, or as Quavo would say, he doesn't walk it like he talks it.
And I was just like,
how do you do, fellow kids?
yeah, and that came right after Megan Thee Stallion did a performance on stage that those people could not have cared less about. Like she was out there being Megan Thee Stallion, and everyone was just like, yeah, I don't know who you
also
are.
spoke.
Quavo did spoke. Very skinny man.
Yeah, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Incredibly
very
skinny
slender.
man. It's very slender.
I will say I haven't been focusing too much on all this, but I saw that like the white dudes for Kamala thing, and I was like, oh, you know, when you see like Pete and I will text each other like, hey, you jumping on this call? And it's like, oh fuck, did we have a call? I saw like it's like at the white dudes for Kamala stream. I'm like, oh, am I supposed to be on this? And it's just like a bunch of clips of Joseph Gordon-Levitt being like, here's why I think Trump's a bad guy. And I was like, oh no, I've already been to this before. I'm good. I'm not missing anything.
What a world we live in.
Yeah. Very strange.
I would never be friends with a Ferris wheel. It's the funniest tweet I've ever seen.
I would not be friends with a Ferris wheel. But yes, full recommendation on The Instigator. Everybody watch it.
Yeah. What a weird episode. This is great.
The late great Casey Affleck. He would put you in a movie. He would write a script about you, ma'am. Okay, we'll be back next week. Enjoy your week, everybody. Talk to us, find us, jump in the Discord, like us, subscribe. Please subscribe to the YouTube. Goes a long way for us. It's free. It's so easy. Talk to you soon. Bye.
We all silly like the mayor.